Picture this. You turn the key to your car and the engine hums to life, but something else awakens with it. An unseen presence slips into the air, a quiet blend of nitrogen oxides and hydrocarbons. You may think you are just driving to work or to school, but you have crossed into a place where every mile leaves a trace from which there is no escape. A place where the air itself keeps score, and the cost of your commute is not measured in gas or in time, but in every breath you did not realize you were sharing with the unseen. You might imagine that such a place only exists in the confines of your nightmares, but you may find it's more drawn in reality than what you first assumed. Today we journey into this world, in the Nightlight Zone.
I'm here in the parking lot. Look at all these cars. Did you know that on average, one car produces 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide every single year? That weighs as much as 2/3 of an adult elephant. It's one car. And it's not just carbon dioxide, it's carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and even formaldehyde. You know, the embalming chemical? These cars are spitting it out and we're breathing it in. I mean, take a look at this. Take a look at this. Start the car! You really want to be breathing that stuff in? Not only does it hurt to breathe, it hurts the environment as well. Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines and come on down to the 30th Annual Diesel Extravaganza, August 28th and 29th at the Wabash Valley Fairgrounds. Bring your truck, bring your tractor, and bring your inhaler, cause buddy, you're gonna need it. Don't bring your baby and don't bring your grandpa, because they're at risk of developing lung problems because we got so much smog because of all the diesel. You're going to have fun at the Diesel Extravaganza. RSVP now.
Today we will be demonstrating the effect vehicle pollution has on our environment. This jar will be our atmosphere, and this match will be our vehicles. Now we will watch the jar start to fill with smoke. This smoke represents the pollutants coming from our vehicles. These gases include carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and other nitrogen oxides, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. This can cause a variety of issues for our environment and our health. The fine particulate matter coming from the exhaust pipes can lead to asthma or even lung cancer. We also have environmental issues like haze, smog, and adds to the ozone formation, which leads to global warming. We can have multiple solutions to fix this. First, we can do carpooling or public transportation, so we use less vehicles on the roads. We could also have bikes, or you could walk if you live in a walkable city or even on a campus.
Let's say you and all your friends really wanted to see a concert together. Maybe you all don't live with each other, but why drive multiple vehicles all to the same place when you only need one? Carpooling is a term that can basically be summed up like this. If everyone is all going to the same place, why not all go together? According to emissionsindex.com, carpooling actually reduces the amount of cars on the road, which in turn reduces the amount of carbon and greenhouse gas emissions that get trapped in our atmosphere. As a result, there's less pollution, which improves our overall air quality. That's why me and my friends love carpooling to our concerts. Sure, it might get a little crammed, but at least we can worry less about the parking fees. And we can split the transportation costs, such as gas. So that way we all get to save money. The best part of it all? Now we get to pregame together! Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Blink and You Miss It Championship Cup, and you are about to see Sneakers O'Toole cross the finish line and claim the championship title. Let's take a look. Well, folks, that looked like a flop. Let's see what our live audience in the stadium has to say about that. 4.6 metric tons. You're telling me that's how much gunk our vehicles produce every single year? That's as much as 2.5 hippopotamuses, folks. Let's see what this other spectator has to say. 6 gigatons. That is the mass of every human on Earth put together and multiplied by 6. No wonder our champion was having so much trouble breathing. Speaking of, let's check in and see if we have our world champion. Looks like our suspected champion is down for the count. But don't touch that dial because we're...
Hello, my name is Governor Ivory, and I believe that every child in our state deserves to breathe fresh, clean air. We are taking on dirty emissions from cars and trucks that cause asthma and pollution by supporting electric vehicles and expanding public transit. And by doing so, we are creating a healthier environment, not just for today, but for generations to come.
I used to love going to the diesel extravaganza and parkour. It was such good stress relief from my mining job right here in Vigo County. According to my doctor and the United Mine Workers of America, because I'm an underground mine worker, I can be exposed up to 100 times more the typical environment concentration of diesel particulate matter and more than 10 times what might be found in other occupations. I don't know what I'll do now that my lungs don't let me function like I used to. I didn't realize the machines I spent my time hauling rocks with were causing me any harm. Now my doctor recommends I get screened for lung cancer. And I have to go all the way down to Morrisville.
We'll take you. We can carpool.
Oh, wait for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the act you've all been waiting for. She's bold, he's beautiful. Give it up for Trisha Fishbach and John Cena. Oh wow, that was just something you had to see to believe. My favorite part especially was the part where John Cena did a double backflip into a back handspring. Now let's see what our judges have to say. Judge number 1. Ooh, a 2. That's not very good, folks. And also, what else isn't good? 8 kilograms of carbon dioxide for every single hour that you drive. That is equivalent to the mass of 1 wiener dog. Wiener dogs add up quick, folks, but our duo's score might not add up so quick. Let's see what judge number 2 has to say. Jeepers creepers, folks, 40% of our atmospheric emissions are brought by transportation. And vehicles, individual consumer vehicles, are a big part of American society, especially here in Des Moines, Iowa. If only there were a way to drive around town while also reducing our carbon footprint. But let's see what judge number 3 has to say, because I don't think they're going to make it. Buzzowie zoo wee wah, folks. Electric vehicles are a great way to release less carbon into the air and reduce your carbon footprint. Unfortunately, I don't think a 10 is going to be enough of a great number to keep our contestants in the running, because a 13 out of 30 is less than 50%. Unless you go to our website, prancingwiththestars.com, and vote to keep them in the running. Don't touch that dial, because up next...
Attention. This is a message from the Environmental Protection Agency. This is not a drill. Due to increased pollution from consumer vehicles, outside air has become unsafe to breathe. Gases such as carbon monoxide and formaldehyde are toxic. Take shelter immediately. It is recommended that children, the elderly, and those suffering from respiratory conditions take extreme precautions, as they are at increased risk of medical complications caused by the smog. Do not breathe the smog. Remain indoors,